Okay, everybody. How are you doing? This is Nikki with Delicate Touch Tarot. And this is going to be a reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Aries placements in your chart. Can also apply to having the North Node in Aries as well. I'm sorry I didn't get videos out for January. It was kind of a hectic month. There was a lot of stuff going on astrologically and energetically that was pretty heavy. I'm sure some of you can relate or empathize with that. I was experiencing more of the internal aspects on my end, not necessarily external influences. But I'm back. I won't be doing the bi-weeklies this month, but I will just be doing a full monthly. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing bi-weeklies. I might just do one monthly release. If you guys enjoy the bi-weeklies and you want them to come back, just drop a comment down below and let me know how you feel about it. And I kind of just want to get into your reading. I'm really interested to see what's going on for you guys. Because I will say, you and Pisces, I feel like whenever I was reading for you guys, the way that your shit was going, for lack of a better word, was very topsy-turvy. One minute it would be up, the next minute it would be down, and then, you know, the highs were high and the lows were very, very low. So let's see what's going on. We already have the Five of Swords pop out, so I'm hoping everything's okay, but it may not be. We do have Mercury going retrograde. Sorry about that. We do have Mercury going retrograde on the 16th of this month. So just take some time to pause, reflect, think before making any important decisions, and kind of allow that energy to move forward as best as it can, unless you absolutely have to make a decision. If that's so, really use your intuition, because information can be strange. Its appearance can be strange. Show me what's happening for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. For the month of February, show me what's happening for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So we do have the Star. There might be some wish fulfillment on your mind. You also might be taking time out to heal during Aquarius season. Your block is going to be the Chariot. And here, I'll show you the Star, just so you know that is your themed card. Your block is the Chariot, so you might be feeling hindered from moving forward at this time, and maybe that's because you need to heal. Maybe also you're waiting for some sign of life, or some sign in particular. If that's so, then here's your sign. Okay. Let's kind of reel in the energies here, please. What's going on for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? What's happened in the recent past? Oh, so we have the Seven of Cups and the Three of Cups in your recent past. You know, when things were going good, it might have left you feeling perplexed or confused. You also might feel like you have a couple of good things going on in your life right now, and you're a little unsure as to how to move forward, or which one to pick, or what direction to go in. And I just realized, if I said that that was in the recent past, that's not, that's in your subconscious. So, sorry for that. Just got that little snafu. If, in your subconscious, if you are caught in between, being confused on which direction to go in, it might be because you do have some important blessings in your life. Hey, sweetheart. This is Juju. Say hi, Juju. She might be acting a fool during this reading, but she's a big old sweetheart. Can you get off the table for me, bud? I'll leave her there for right now. Anyways, I feel like her presence, hey, her presence in this reading is a very positive thing. Anyways, you guys could also be feeling mischievous right now. So in the recent past for you guys, you have the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups. It's quite possible that you could have like really been thrown off your game. It's almost like you were having to listen to your intuition, but your emotions might have been getting in the way. So you could have been getting caught in the crosshairs in between what you were feeling and if it was fear-based or if it was actually your intuition. Sometimes that's really difficult to actually tell the difference in between the two, because when fear really amps up in our physical body, we can sometimes think that it's our intuitive sense, but really it's just fear. It's just being afraid, and it becomes so overwhelming that sometimes we actually manifest what it is that we're most afraid of. So that could have also been an issue. You also could be dealing with a male or female, it's non-gender specific, who might be quite either empathic, so they can feel and take on other people's emotions or sense them and then feel very affected by them. Or you could be dealing with somebody who does have some form of substance abuse issue, or they have an issue with actually, I hate saying this, but some form of mental illness possibly, because that's also a problem. In your higher sector, you do have the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords, which is very interesting, especially in juxtaposition to the Three of Cups and the Seven of Cups. So with your conscious forefront mind, you might be focusing on some loss or some pains in the past. There's some sort of something that you're replaying over and over again in your mind. So it actually kind of feels like you're actually doing a little bit of self-harm here. It's quite possible too, you could be afraid of the future. You could be afraid of cycles repeating. It is also possible here, although I don't necessarily agree with it because of the fact that we have these cards in the upright. So I don't really think it's necessarily any form of like deception or cheating or anything like that. But there's something here where, are you afraid to be happy? What's the thing here? Are you afraid to be happy? Are you afraid to have a good time? What's happening in the near future here for Aries? Sun and rising Venus. What's happening for Aries? We have the Devil in reverse. So you may be dropping bad habits. You may be dropping codependent people or relationships. You may also be dropping the obsession, which also could be the Nine of Swords. You may be dropping some negative things, patterns, behaviors, thought processes, feelings. Let's see how you're doing emotionally. Show me how Aries is doing emotionally, please. So we have the Knight of Swords. You might be doing a lot right now. And we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. You may be wanting to claim what's yours or what you deserve at this time. It's quite possible, if I'm really looking at this, you know, somebody might have been a little deceptive with you, or someone might have broken your heart, or someone might have just done something that caused you some form of pain. This doesn't just have to apply to relationships either. This can be family, business, friendships. Anybody who has some form of a connection to you that you would actually be affected by if they were to make choices that were less than positive in terms of the connection with you. But I feel this strange injustice here that you feel. And with the Star being the center focus here, I think you're wondering, will I ever get what I deserve? Will I ever get what I'm wishing for? Can I actually have forward movement in my life? Can I ever move beyond this if you're actually wanting to get past the issue? So let's see what's going on around you. What's happening in the atmosphere around Aries, please? What's happening around them for the month of February? Oh shit. We have Death. We have the Four of Pentacles. And we have the Emperor. So it's quite possible that somebody around you could be experiencing some massive transformation and changes in terms of maybe perspectives that they had. Maybe they were unwilling to have a conversation. Maybe they were unwilling to share something with you. Which is quite strange because the Emperor usually acts on pretty positive energy. We'll come back and clarify that. That one's got me a little stumped. Your hopes and fears here are the Page of Pentacles, so you possibly could be waiting on some form of an offer or an invitation or a gift. Let's look at the outcome or the advice. We have the Six of Swords in reverse. I don't really like that. Not gonna lie. We have the Hanged Man. That adds to me not liking that. Oh, and we have the Five of Pentacles. Come on, guys. Seven of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the deck. You might be stuck between a rock and a hard place here in the outcome. I advise you to take a time out and to really think things through. I really want you to try to have a big picture perspective on this. Because either you don't have all the information or you're not seeing everything for what it is. There's almost this essence of needing to go it alone. Or not having somebody drag you into the dirt with them. Because that's another possibility here. You might have been carrying somebody through something for a long time. Let's clarify the star here for what is this wish fulfillment? What is this positive energy we have? Wish fulfillment is the Emperor. You might be wanting the Emperor to show up in a way that they don't know how. Showing up in a way that's very hard for them to show up because maybe in the past they've been through their own set of circumstances where it's very hard for them to share and it's very hard for them to open up about their experiences. But that's changing. I will say that's changing. But this wish fulfillment or this hope of healing has to do with the Emperor and the Six of Swords. You're wanting to move beyond this situation, beyond the issue, and you're wanting to do it together. You know it's going to take time. You know it's going to take some really hard decisions. You have to make some hard decisions right now. And I think it's why you're taking this moment to pause and to really reflect and think. But in the process of doing that, you feel stuck. Because there is a lot of pain attached to this. And I think you're afraid of more pain. I don't know if you can get any more pain in this situation, I'm going to be honest. There's a part of me that also feels here that you already know. Like you've already dealt with this multiple times, okay? You've already dealt with this multiple times. This is nothing new for you. I think maybe what happened is your expectations got in the way. And when your expectations got in the way, the disappointment was even more difficult to take. So let's clarify the Three of Cups here with the Seven of Cups to see what's going on. We have the King of Swords and we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody might have possibly made an ultimatum, which made things a little confusing here. Somebody here in this situation might be a little more distant, more cold. They might not necessarily have the most nurturing aspects of themselves. There's a lot of people here. It's quite possible too that some of you out there could be dealing with some form of depression or a cerebral issue. Let's clarify the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups in reverse, please. That's a lot of cards, but I'm just going to take the two that came out. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Sun. It's very interesting because in the past here, I feel like somebody was either willing to get help or someone was willing to work on the issues that they had in order to fix their issue or their problem. And it's very interesting because even though I feel like it should be long-lasting clarity, that clarity was possibly either cut short or someone didn't have the ability to fulfill the promise that they made. Let's clarify the Three of Swords here and the Nine of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You might be hurt because somebody might have chosen something over you. And when we're saying this, if this doesn't apply to a relationship, this could possibly apply to if somebody here does have addiction issues, codependency issues, or some form of issue where you're not a priority, then that's kind of what's happening here. Someone isn't making your feelings a priority, which might be the heartbreaking part, right? Where expectations come in. Let's clarify the Devil here. All right. Devil in reverse is with the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Devil in the upright. Someone's battling some demons here, okay? And there's multiple. This could be multiple vices. This could be multiple people. This could be multiple thought processes or patterns. This could be multiple things that have happened to this person in their life to make them the way that they are. Someone has a really hard time here with really buckling down. They have a really hard time with stability, and they have a really hard time sticking to commitment. Whether it's commitments to jobs, whether it's commitments to sobriety, whether it's commitments to sticking with one thing and really working hard at it to make sure that it's the best that it can be. They have a really hard time with this. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords. Okay. Very interesting. Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles in reverse is the first two cards that you got in a different pattern. You have the Star in reverse here and the Chariot in the upright. So emotionally, you are really craving wanting to move on. You're really craving wanting to move beyond this, and you're really craving just letting this go and accepting that you may not be able to heal this or that your wish will never come true. Emotionally, that's where you're at. But I don't think that's where you're actually at. I think that's just how you feel right now. I really want you to listen to your intuition at this time, because your intuition is trying to tell you something that physical reality can't necessarily show you and feed you. I think that's one of your issues here, is I think you get so stuck feeling what everybody else is going through and empathizing with everything that like everyone around you is going through, that you can't actually see what's happening and you can't really feel what the outcome is going to be, because you're all over the place. So I really encourage you this month to really get grounded and try to stabilize yourself in a way where you're not feeling a million different things at once or people. I really want you to focus and concentrate on yourself. What do you need? What do you desire? What does your body need from you right now? If you're craving something, what are you craving? If you need more rest, are you resting? If you need to get out and take a walk, or if you need to be in nature, are you doing that? Are you honoring that? You need to get back into your physical body so that you can listen to your intuition better. So with Death, the Four of Pentacles, and the Emperor, we have the Knight of Cups. Like I said, I do think that this person, whoever this is going through some form of a transformation. They're trying to figure it out. And I think the way that they figure it out is just by going it alone and really trying to understand themselves and why they do what it is that they do. Because if they haven't taken responsibility yet, they're working on taking responsibility for what has happened. And I think they want to fix it because they know where their issues are. And I think that's the big change here, is they're actually becoming cognizant of the issues that they have. Which is amazing. That's great. Who wouldn't love that? So let's clarify the Page of Pentacles here. With the Page of Pentacles, we have strength. You might have to have patience, fortitude, and grace in order to really see this offer through. I think you need to trust in what a lot of people like to refer to as divine timing. I like to call it justice. I like to call it universal karma. You need to trust that all things in life go through cycles. You notice that in everything, right? In everything. The world turns, seasons change. Life naturally has this form that it has to kind of roll and meander through. Things have to blossom, then they have to ripen, they have to fall from the tree, we have to harvest them, and then they have to die just to be reborn. So understand that everything in life is a cycle, and I do believe you will reconnect with this person. With the Six of Cups showing up, you will reconnect with this person. There's no way you can't. I do think you have a very deep bond to this person. If this person is not a sibling, family member, child, parent, then this is someone you've known before. I think it's somebody you've known before anyway. It's someone you feel very comfortable around. It's someone who feels like home. There's no way that you can actually physically separate from this person. I mean, you guys may not see each other, but you're actually still quite connected. So with the Six of Swords in reverse, we have the Queen of Cups. This reading is very interesting because it's like all these cards are showing up. It's a little contradictory, I'll be honest. There are cards in the reverse that are showing up in the upright. So positive thing is with the Queen of Cups being in the reverse in the past and showing up in the upright in the outcome, it's good stuff. This is what we want to see. We want to see you getting emotionally back on board, even if you can't fully move through something yet. I think that there are things that are changing here. I think that you're learning to really, like I said, get grounded this month and really observe your emotions through a different lens, to where they're not controlling you and they're not overpowering you or bringing you back down to maybe less than savory behaviors that you've had in the past. Let's clarify the Hanged Man here. With the Hanged Man, we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Hermit. There's someone here who's really trying to find their stability. If this isn't you, this might be the other person. But there's this need to really discover and figure out how you can be more stable in your life. If it's not physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, then it's definitely financially. And I do feel like there is some wisdom that's hiding deep within you. If you don't have someone that you're thinking of that you can go talk to who has this wisdom, I feel like this is another person. Normally I'd be like, yeah, just take a time out and go into hermit mode and figure it out. No, I think this is an actual person, like a counselor, therapist, or advisor that you either regularly communicate with or you touch base with every time you're going through something. Communicate with this person, because I feel like this person will shed some light on either how you can gain some more stability, or how you can get through this period in a solid way. Now with the Five of Pentacles, we do have the Three of Swords once again. Last clarifier for that. Beautiful way to end this reading. We have the Four of Wands. I do feel like, and the Empress at the bottom, this is great. I do feel like that at the end of the day, somebody is going to be returning home or coming back home, or entering into a more harmonious union, either with you or in a very specific place. There's something here where somebody just needs to go through their own trials and tribulations in order to heal. And I think that it's best if you and this person are not in communication with right now with each other, I think it's best. I think you guys have your own personal demons to battle. Like I said, even if this is a friend, even if it's a family member, Sometimes connections are so strong that it can really drive us fucking nuts. So I understand how this could pull your heartstrings. Now, if this is someone who is a partner or someone who you desperately love or just genuinely unconditionally love, I do feel like there's going to be a return here. I do feel like that both of you need to kind of separately go your own ways for a little bit in order to figure some shit out, because each of you have some stuff to work through equally. I think you guys are equally yoked and you just don't realize it. So yeah, take a time out, really focus on what you need to fix this month. Take that time to get grounded, take that time to understand yourself and understand the underlying issue to the issue, or the need behind the need. And really just examine it and take a look at it and do it from a place where it's not emotionally drowning you, which I do believe that you can do if you just take the steps necessary. I really think you can do it. Now let me see if I can get my, see if I can grab it easily. My deck of character deck. Somewhere in here, there she is. And let's pull some final 3 cards here, just for overall clarification and additional messages. So we have the Poet. I do feel like somebody is going to open up and communicate in a very beautiful way. I think this also might be for you to take a time out. If you're a creative person and the way for you to express and process your feelings is either on paper, whether it's through art, writing, whatever, I encourage you to do that to get grounded this month. We have the Forest. A lot of times when I get that card, I like to talk about not being able to see the forest for the trees. So take some time to see the forest for the trees, or like I said earlier, get out in nature, get physically grounded. We have Fairy. I do believe a blessing is on its way. And we have Wild Woman. Listen, we don't have to be gender specific here, but really be your own authentic self in this process. Do not be ashamed of who you are, and do not feel like you caused this issue. Unless you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, know that there's something that you did to make this happen. Everybody is their own person. Everybody makes their own decisions. Do not take the blame for something that is not yours. Just don't. We are all our own authentic individuals walking our own path. And sometimes the things that we do and say might seem crazy to one another. But at the end of the day, as long as it's justified within you as to why you did or said something, that's all that matters. Your choices are your choices, and their choices are their choices. So let that be what it is, and maybe learn to practice the art of unattachment. Easier said than done. Trust. I understand. So yeah, take this time to be your authentic self and understand that there are things beyond what you can see right now that are really going to end up turning in your favor. And I do think that at the end of the day, whatever you're hoping and wishing for, it's going to come your way. I just think you need to let go of how that shows up in your life and actually make space and make room for whatever it is that really does deserve and need to happen. Okay? Thank you for joining me, Aries. If you did enjoy this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment. As I said early in the beginning of this video, if you would prefer me to do the bi-weeklies, just let me know, and I can totally try to start doing that either in March or April. Feedback is always important. But once again, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the views. Thank you for enjoying the content or hating it. I don't really care. There's plenty of other readers out there. But just thank you in general for being here anyways. So have a good night.